From saving the world in Mission Impossible to leaving us on the edge of our seats in The White Lotus, our next guest is truly Hollywood royalty. She's starring in your new favourite Christmas film, The Family Plan 2, which is out next Friday on Apple TV. So let's say hello to a guest that there's no one cooler than. It's Michelle Monaghan!
Oh, Michelle, welcome to the show.
Wow, what
an
honor to be here.
Aren't we
love
great?
This energy. Yes, you are.
Well,
absolutely.
You're great. I mean, there's 7 of us against 1 of you, but it takes 7 of us to be anywhere close to being as great as you are. Welcome to the show. Great film, great career, great human being. Where do you want to start?
Oh my gosh, anywhere you want to start, man. I love this. You guys are so effusive and just. Wow, well, I can't wait to start my week with you.
If we cut you open, you'd bleed positivity, because that's who you are, isn't it? It's true, though.
It is actually
true. You talk about you get it from your mum and dad and your brothers.
Oh, thank you so much for recognizing that. I really believe that it is just a part of my nature, but it's something that was really passed on to me from my folks and my family. It's just an approach to life, and I really feel very blessed that I've had that as a foundation for my life, and hopefully that's something that I can impart on my children as well. But very grateful for everything that I have in this career.
And it's not an option for everyone, because it's not on the table for everyone. But if it is on the table for you, why wouldn't you choose that?
That's right. I actually find it to be a lot easier to kind of start the day with a positive attitude than it is to. I think it takes much more energy to be a jerk than it is.
Every day you have to get up and re-jerk.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think it's just a much easier and natural way to kind of move through life
doesn't it?
It does. If you just sort of think, I think something great is going to happen to me today, or I just think, today's going to be a beautiful day. I don't know what's in store for me yet, but I can't wait to see what's going to kind of, reveal itself to me. And I just sort of think that there's a lot of awe that I have for life and gratitude. And if we just sort of look up and look around, and I think we'll be surprised in the little places that we find it.
There's an awe law. You sort of said it, didn't you?
Oh, I really like that. And awe law. That's it. I'm taking it with me, Chris.
We were talking about some friends of ours over the weekend who are sort of really sort of enriching human beings to be around. If you want to do something good for you, find out who's doing it, join their tribe and join in. That's all you have to do.
That's right.
And we were talking about trees and leaves. And we saying, nature teaches everything. She's there every day. She can't believe that sometimes we look the other way, but she's used to it now. She goes, okay, well, you just look over here. I'll show you what to do. Night and day. You go to sleep at night. Wake up in the day. Winter, summer, spring, growth. It happens. All this kind of stuff. And we're talking about trees. And so trees have leaves, and they never then go and try and buy other leaves off of the trees. They've got enough leaves. It's all right. They don't go around. They don't try and order more leaves online. Right. Do you know what I mean? And that's what's wrong with this. And what you were talking about being a jerk. And by the way, I've had my jerk years. Don't worry about that. Is you have to put more jerk fuel on the fire. Whereas if you practice loving kindness, and you plant the seeds. You've got to plant the seeds. Yeah. But then you just water the seeds.
Yes.
Every day, get up, water the seeds. Let's go.
That's right. And you just nurture it, and that's all that it takes.
Yeah. And this is a family movie. See where I was going? Because we can talk about family, because it's called The Family Plan 2. All right. It's a great film. I watched it yesterday. It's on Apple TV. It's coming soon. This is how I classified it. It's a Christmas comedy, action, family thriller.
You nailed it.
It's got it all going on, isn't it?
My job is done here.
Yeah. And you're married too.
An Aussie.
Yeah. No, in the film.
Oh, in the movie.
We're going to film
okay, good.
now.
All right, my husband's going to be happy that I thought of him first.
Yeah.
I am married, of course, to Dan Morgan, played by the brilliant and wonderful Mark Wahlberg. Yay! It's the 3rd movie I've done with Mark. Yeah. I think the world of him. We have such a wonderful rapport.
Yeah.
But the whole cast does in this family. I was so grateful that we had the opportunity to make a second film, because we sincerely had so much fun making the first one. And when this this particular, sequel came about, it was like, it was a no-brainer. It was like the Morgans go.
Why wouldn't we?
Why wouldn't we?
Yeah.
And we get to go on a family adventure. We go to Europe for the holidays.
Well, hang on. Okay, so here we go. So you start in America, and within a second, you're in London.
Yes.
So welcome to
Yes.
London, everyone. And I'm watching the film yesterday, and I'm like, they've filmed this in every place that I run to work in the morning, because I park in Baker Street every day.
Yeah.
And I run through all the sets,
You
all
do.
the locations.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, and often over the last few years, because I've been doing this for 7 or 8 years now, I have to make a detour because somebody's making a movie overnight.
Yes.
And I bet, that's happened to me
For
a lot in the
sure.
last 7 years. And I bet one of them was yours.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, we were here last year, November, December, January.
I remember.
Yeah, and it was just. Firstly, I just have to say, there is not a more beautiful city in the world for the holidays. I was absolutely floored. Thank you. Yes. Thank you for London bringing it for Christmas time. I mean, we were so lucky to be able to shoot here in front of all of these gorgeous landmarks. We felt we couldn't even classify it as work, to be honest. I mean, we were working day and night, with the backdrop of all these beautiful scenic places. I felt like we were tourists,
Yeah, big sets, man.
and big
You
sets.
closed
Like,
down the whole of Regent Street,
we
didn't
did.
you?
Could you believe it? And we were in a black cab and we were going up and down and we saw all the angels. It was magical.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. And I think that's what's kind of so great about this film, that the whole world, right? Because, it streams on Apple and the whole world gets to see London at Christmas time, but we're coming in and we're getting to have a family adventure, and it's action-packed, and we're utilizing all of these beautiful
Locations.
beautiful
and
locations.
world famous locations.
Yes,
And,
yes.
there was the Brazilian Grand Prix yesterday. A lot of reasons that...
Who won that, by the way?
Lando Norris won.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I was watching and then I fell asleep. So
Yeah, well, which is extraordinary because of the jet lag, I would imagine.
Yes.
Because it was a pretty exciting Grand
It
Prix.
was, yeah.
It was a really exciting Grand Prix. And the reason that F1 has, or some countries want F1 is so they can show off their city. And you go, oh, that looks nice, maybe we'll
Yeah,
go. But
yeah.
of course, lots of people know what London looks like.
Yeah.
It's no worse for being shown again in your movie.
no, but nobody, I don't think, has actually ever really seen it at Christmas time and how much the city really,
We
really
have
does it up.
So many ice rinks.
Yeah, no, it's so great. We shot at Somerset House,
I know.
which was beautiful, which was so
That's
amazing.
the most famous one, but there's
Yeah,
so many others.
There's
as
so
well.
many others.
And you did the open bus
There's
tour.
the one down at Battersea, which was so fantastic.
There's one in Leicester Square where you have the movie
Well,
premieres.
you know what? Listen, it was such a great place to be, because ultimately my family, we have 2 children. We have a 17-year-old daughter and a 12-year-old son. And we actually spent Christmas here in London because
Which
I
is
was
the
like,
whole idea of the film.
yeah, which was so great. It was so meta. I was like, I said to my husband, I was like, listen.
Which one?
Yeah, exactly. The Aussie. I said, listen, I'm not going to come home for Christmas. You guys are coming over here. It's too beautiful. I want to just take part in all these things. In fact, my daughter and I ended up doing the Great Bake Off, the Great London
Great
Bake Off.
British Bake Off,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was so much fun. So it was all these great things that we went to tea at a sketch,
Yeah.
which was so cool and fun. And of course we did Claridge's and we did all these great things, but I just loved how all the neighborhoods uniquely decorated for themselves, like Marylebone High Street. Like how pretty is that little? I
gorgeous.
mean,
They're all
it's
villages,
they're all
basically.
little villages.
Yeah.
And so I got to see so much of London, and I really hadn't spent time in London for a good 10 or 15 years. And so
You make me want to stay here.
yeah, no, you should. And I lived in the Notting Hill, Goulburn area, and what a
shut
cool
up.
area is
Did you watch
that?
the movie? You had to watch the movie while you were here.
It was just so cool.
Yeah,
It was just so cool.
You've got a touch of Julia Roberts about you.
Yeah,
Have people said
exactly.
that before?
Yes, but I have not met her. But I would love to meet her.
Joking me.
I would love to
You
meet
two
her.
should do a movie together.
That would be from your
All right,
mouth to God's ears.
So you're in America for about 10, 15 minutes of the movie. Then you land in London. I think this is great and it's big and you've landed fully. I thought, well, they can't be leaving because they've spent so much money landing here. And then you go to France in about
That's
a
right.
second or two.
That's right.
So the reason you come here is because your daughter not your in real life daughter. Your daughter, you're a Mark Wahlberg's not your real husband.
Yep,
daughter.
that's right.
She's here and she's
Nina.
working here. She's 20 years old.
She's studying abroad.
She's studying abroad, and she's not going to make it on family Christmas. And a bit like what's his name?
Christmas Vacation, Chevy
National
Chase.
Lampoons.
That's exactly right.
Mark's a bit.
And
he's channeling his inner.
He basically wants to. He has to have the family together,
Yeah.
and so he plans.
He takes the mountain to Muhammad.
That's right. He
Yeah.
was like, we're all in on the double life now from one, and he said, you know what? We want to be with Nina. She's studying abroad. We're going to go to London for the holidays. And so we all make it to London. We're all very excited to be here. And then some mysterious character kind of comes.
Before that, you discover that she has a boyfriend.
Oh, yes.
And you discover she has a boyfriend because he's having a shower.
That's right.
I love Omar.
That's right. Oh, is it Omar fantastic?
I think he might be my favorite. Is it all right to say that? I think he might be my favorite character because he's like all that's good about life. And and also he's got no hang-ups.
And he's just so positive again. And
he's super fit.
And it's just he's well, as Jessica would say, he's ripped.
He is ripped, but also I thought he's ripped for a reason because this is not like it's a happy movie, but it's not a lazy movie.
Yes.
So I thought he's not just handsome for that joke because that would be rubbish.
No, exactly.
Fit rather, and I thought that's going to come into play
he's
later.
He's very athletic because he's parkour. And so all of a sudden, as you can understand what this film is about, there's a lot of action adventure. You see a lot of his parkour
and I'm so
skills.
happy that he got to do that.
Yeah, me too. And he loved it.
Yeah, and he's like son of, isn't he? He's son of, but not son of.
That's exactly right.
So your husband, not in real life, in movie land. So what's his job again? Just remind us.
So he's his former life, he was an assassin. And of course, we learn about his former life, and he's moved on now. In Family Plan 2, he's started Morgan Securities. It's an international securities company. And so he's starting off with a new lease on life. And so when we open up in Family 2, we're in London because he's like, you know what, I'm gonna do a security job in London.
Yeah, we'll take it out and pay for the holiday.
That's exactly right. We can write it off. And of course, we get to London, and then this mysterious character kind of comes into the picture, and kind of the rest is history. You see, okay, this family now has to address this new issue, and they all kind of use their respective skills, whether it's parkour or Kyle as an avid gamer, or Jessica Morgan as a decathlete. Yeah. You see all of them kind of use all of their respective skills to try to.
Incredibles, but for real.
It is. They go to battle, they bicker, they bond, all of the things that you can imagine.
As if shutting down London is enough for Apple TV and their budgets. You shut down Paris. I mean, what is it like to be working on a movie that closes down a substantial part of a city, but for all the right reasons, at a convenient time of day, hopefully, and you're at the centre of it? Does that ever get normal?
No, that doesn't get normal. And I'm sure the Parisians weren't.
It doesn't get normal, people. Not even this one.
I'm sure
the AAA over here.
I know. I'm sure locals weren't necessarily pleased because it's really, puts a spanner in the mix, as they say, for their daily lives. But I will say we were forever grateful for it. I mean, we really got to, we were shooting. Cruising around the L'Arc de Triomphe from like 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. I know, it was beautiful. We were in the streets of Montmartre, and I had actually, like, near Sacré-Cœur, we were going down the steps in a really crazy, wild car chase, which was just so much fun. I mean, we were on a barge on the Seine, at nighttime for hours, cruising up and down, watching the twinkling lights of the Eiffel Tower. And it was like, listen, Chris, I've been doing this for 25 years. I still pinch myself at the things that I get to do, the places I get to go, the people that I get to work with. This is one of those kinds of dream gigs that, as an artist, I feel really grateful to be a part of creatively, but it also resonates for me as a mom, because I have children, and a lot of the themes that we explore in the movie are things that I'm also living out in real life. The idea of becoming kind of an empty nester, or kind of redefining yourself in mid-age, and all of those things that you kind of struggle with. And I think it's just a really special family movie, and I just loved every minute of it.
No, because the ingredients are potentially so stressful. And that's what, being a parent, you turn left one day, it's great. You turn right one day, it's not so great. You've had a great day. Then you pick one of your kids up at dinner because something they're doing when they're eating, and you go, and then it all is a disaster, and you spend ages making the meal, and you go, why did I even say that? This is not a teachable moment. We're not shoulder to shoulder. We're not in the park. We're in the confines of the kitchen. They've had a nightmare day. They're teenagers. They're going, they've got all this other stuff. What am I doing?
That's right. And then you get into bed at night and you're like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that.
You know what? Shouldn't have said anything.
That's right. And then you get up in the morning and you go, I'm sorry.
I know.
I'm sorry about that. And that's great. I think there's like that ownership, that accountability, that being impulsive
Apologize
and
quickly.
all of the things. Yes, and being reactive and all of those things that I think everyone can relate to.
Again, because it's family, we can talk about family. You brought it up again. The essence of family is in it. The cleverness of the film is the fact it's funny. And I still cared about the story, because sometimes funny films, you go, it's a funny film. It's not funny enough to just be funny. You're asking me to care about the story. I don't care about the story. I'm caught between a rock and a hard place. Everybody's really good in it. Clearly, things as simple as I know this sounds so stupid and facile, but you clearly all really care about your dialogue.
Yeah,
because
we do.
it's really, there's that scene when you're literally, as a family, you're on the run and you're delivering dialogue on the run. And it really works. And when Mark goes to his ex-girlfriend's house, the track down, and I won't say what it happens, but when you're questioning him about, hey, who's this?
And we improv'd a lot of that.
Oh, you can. Well, it's so good. It's so good.
That's a real testament. First of all, we were delivered a wonderful script by David Kogashal, who wrote the first one and wrote the second one.
He sort of did everything.
And it's great. And then we've got a wonderful director, Simon Kethlin Jones, who directed both of them. And, we have an amazing cast where we have a real natural rapport. And at some point, Simon can just go, you know what, improv this one, have fun for yourselves. And we all really just trust each other. And it's really just so fun because everyone's very talented and everyone has like a very specific tone and sense of humor. And so we can really work off of each other and really build off of that. And it's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun.
I'm not very good at recording word for word kind of things, but when Mark knocks on the door and she said, hang on, you have a history or whatever. Yeah. Well, we used to be together. And then she answers the door and said, who's this? I've been married to him for 15 years and I've been in bed for a lot of it.
And I said, where have you been? And I say, in my bed. And that was
let's just put that line in the sand right there, lady.
That's right.
It's so fun, man. It's so fun.
Thank you.
And we were all intrigued. So you were born, you were raised in a little small village, 700 people or something like that. Dad, mum, properly hard workers, a proper family, no disrespect to other families, but a working family.
That's correct.
Working for every dollar you ever had good fortune to enjoy. And you get from this small town with brothers to Hollywood. Right, can you just fill in some of the gaps there?
You know what? I started modeling when I was 17 to put myself through college. My dream was actually to be a journalist. And so I thought, what's the best way that I can do that? And I realized I could model. So I did catalog modeling with like Target and Montgomery Ward, moved to Chicago, studied journalism, started traveling the world, and then realized in my senior year of college that I was going to have to go back to small markets like Iowa. And by this time I'd been to Milan, I'd been to Japan, I'd been all over Europe. And I went, oh gosh, no, I just want to keep going. I love the city. And so I decided to move to New York. And by the grace of God, I had a friend who said, I'm in law school. You can take my second bedroom rent free. And I thought, boy, if I don't jump and take this chance now, I'll never do it. So I moved to New York thinking, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I believed wholeheartedly something was going to happen for me there. Continue modeling, started doing some commercials, got an agent for commercials, and she said, you should take this audition for a television series. You've got nothing else to lose. And I was like, you're right. I went, I got the gig.
So you hadn't acted?
I had never acted before.
What?
I still haven't studied acting, actually. And
you sort of have.
I sort of have. And I love that you say that I sort of have because I've looked at every job that I've ever had as like working with Robert Downey Jr. in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which was like my first break.
Hold for applause. Open the door, please. No, by the way, some of the gang haven't seen Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
No.
And they want them to be in the Kiss Kiss Bang Bang Gang Gang.
That's so funny. It's the best.
They're going to watch it tonight.
That's the best. It really is a terrific. It remains one of my favorite films that I've ever done. But he taught me how to improv on that movie.
Can you give us the headlines of improv?
So improv. He was. I said, "What do you mean we're going to improv?" We're rolling in sound, and he said, "We're going to improv." And I said, well, "What's it mean?" And he said, "It means we're not going to say the words that Shane wrote." And Shane's like, "I heard that." And we went into the scene. And it was when we stumble into a scene, and I'm sort of disrobing and taking off my clothes, and we're talking about gum, and I've got a spider on my chest, and all of these weird things, but I don't even know if any of the lines actually made it. But he was such a genius in that film that was the first introduction into like, oh wow, instead of reading the lines on the page or memorizing it, we can also just like play off of each other. And then I remember, working with Tom Cruise shortly thereafter, and I got my big break.
Okay. For applause and cue applause. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And that was like acting 102, or 202, and
What would you look? So improv from Robert Downey Jr. Because that's the first thing you said. So that must be in your gut.
Yes.
What's the first thing you learned? What's the headline from working with Tom Cruise?
With Tom, just absolutely how to present and be a professional on set.
Right, there you go.
He is extraordinary. He really, really shaped my career.
Happy set, great film. Or at least you got a better chance of making a great film.
Absolutely. Just in the way you carry yourself. You learn everyone's name on the set. You literally invest in every single person that's on set, whether you're a co-star or a grip or director or a writer,
if you're a human,
if you are human,
you're invested in.
That is exactly right. And he will elevate you, and therefore you elevate them. I mean, he really believes in that kind of cyclical,
Does he really buy
supportive
everybody like a
relationship.
motorcycle every day and things like that?
No.
Does that happen?
You know what?
'Cause that would
He gave
help.
me one of the dearest gifts, actually, and I treasure it. And I probably does this for everyone on set, but he gets the unit photography book of all the pictures, and he creates a personal album for each and every person. And I have that.
Pretty good, isn't it?
And it's something that I would never have for myself. I never have the time to do it. But it's something that I really, really treasure, because I look back on it now 20 years later and I go, wow, we really had a time.
Isn't it
That was
funny?
really a special time in my life. And I respect him tremendously. Really grateful for that opportunity.
You work hard. I can tell when I meet a grafter, when I hear a
Yes.
grafter, and it comes from your family, it comes from your background. You hold yourself with such grace. You work really hard. You're away from home. You don't ever sort of skirt around. They say, I have to go away from home. That's why my husband keeps together. Without him badassing at home, I can't badass it on screen.
Thank
and
you
this
for
all
saying
true.
that.
This all
Yes,
true.
it
And
is.
you shoot from the hip and you say it like it is, but you don't just say it for effect. None of those things. And then there's Tom Cruise.
Yes.
Because it's different levels, aren't there?
That's right.
And it's so crazy. And you got to pick your level, haven't you? You got to pick your level and go, right, that's my main thing. Because for Tom, the whole thing is the main thing.
Yes,
And
yes.
for the rest of us, it just isn't,
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
you pick your own main thing and you keep the main thing. It's marvellous. And you gave birth at home.
I did give birth at
For
home.
applause. And this is the biggest one so far. Having done both,
I did.
Can you compare and contrast, please?
I've had both my babies at home. I couldn't recommend it enough. It was just the right choice for our family. I was very fortunate to have very healthy pregnancies, and it was something that my husband and I chose to do alongside a midwife and a doula. And it was just a treasure that I'll never ever regret. And it was just very peaceful and loving. I also happen to have a
How
high
did you meet
pain tolerance, so that helped.
How did you meet the super dude that's married to Wonder Woman?
Where does a gal from Iowa meet an Aussie
I
in
know
a
the-
bar
I
in the
know, yeah.
meatpacking district in
Where-
New York City?
Was it a Friday? Was it a Saturday? Was it 7
It
o'clock?
was.
it 2
It was a
o'clock?
Saturday. It was a Saturday night.
What time?
And it was probably around 10 p.m. He walks in with 5 or 6 Aussies that are still our best friends to this day. And he had a mohawk, a rat tail, a Vivian Westwood t-shirt. He had cowboy boots on and the tightest pair of Levi's on. And I was like, who is that? So not even my type, but he struck my eye. He sat down next to me about an hour later and he started chatting me up. He bought me an Amstel Light. And he made me laugh, and he still makes me laugh like nobody's business.
Because that's a grand entrance. You got to. That's hard to follow up.
Yeah,
With the chat, isn't it?
That is, and I asked him.
Was the chat better than the look?
No, the chat, it's still equal. It's on par with each other.
Right.
And I asked him, I said, I'm a big sports fan. And I said, would you come and watch a football game with me, football playoffs, the Dallas Cowboys and somebody else the next day. And I woke up the next morning with his number in my lap, and I must have sat there for 2 hours thinking, oh my gosh, I don't know if I should call him. And I finally call him back. I call him, and he's like, oh my God, I thought you were never going to call me. And I was like, it's Michelle from last night. He's like, of course, we only spoke for like 6 hours. And he met me at the bar. We watched the football game, and it was basically, that was it. You know, I count that night as our anniversary. We've been together 25 years, and he is just the easiest person to love.
Wow, good for you. Good for both of you.
Yeah, thank you.
You do badass it in this film as well. You're clearly fit as a fiddle. I know that. And your character is waiting on hold for a coaching job at
Ohio State.
Ohio State.
That's right.
Okay, and then you do something at the end which I won't mention because it's a bit of a spoiler.
Yep.
God, it's all so good, isn't it? It's all so beautiful. Isn't life great?
And life is so good. Life is so good. You know what I loved about this film, and I'm glad that you bring up the stunts. You know, that is very much a facet of my life. I'm a total adrenaline junkie. I love to like skydive and bungee jump and do all these sorts of things.
How did Tom feel about that?
So he loves it. He loves it. You know, he also, listen, I was never athletic. I didn't find my athleticism actually until it was Mission Impossible 3. And they put me in touch with a trainer, and they started teaching me Muay Thai because they wanted me to be athletic for some of the action sequences. So that movie kicked off me having like body awareness and going, oh wow.
I knew you weren't particularly sporty at school, but I didn't realize it was that late on.
Yeah, it was that late on. And it was only that movie. And ever since then, I went, oh, I think I'd like to try this and I'd like to try that. And I remember when I finished MI6, we were in, Tom and Pete and I, my husband, we took a chopper tour. We went to Milford Sound because we had to shoot a scene. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm in a chopper with Tom. And it's so beautiful. It was just all so surreal. And I remember I wrapped that film. And I told my husband like 20 years ago when we met, I said, one day I am going to bungee jump, but I'm only going to bungee jump in New Zealand at this particular spot. And we happened to be there. And I couldn't bungee jump until I wrapped the film. And I wrapped the film, and the next morning he's like, oh no, we're going to do it, aren't we? And I was like, yes, we are. And he had to do it as well. And all of a sudden you just saw me swan dive over the...
Did you go for the swan?
Of course I did.
Oh my God.
Hold on, we need a round of applause for that.
Okay, hold for applause and swan dive applause. Oh my God.
Yes. So I blame it on Tom. I learned a lot of things from Tom.
Tom made me do it.
Tom made me do it.
In a recent interview, you do talk about the famous Tom Cruise cake. The last person to talk about that in that seat was the other Tom.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Tom Hanks.
It's the...
And he does an impression of the Tom Cruise cake.
Oh my God, it's
They
so...
send it to your office today, or
it's so good.
is it every Christmas?
Oh, it's every Christmas.
Right,
in fact,
okay.
the kids wait now for the cake.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, and as I know, it'll probably be coming by the end of the month. But we get so excited.
Yep.
And what's also really cool is what comes with the cake is always every year you get the same ornament.
Right.
And so we have multiple ornaments.
Where'd you put them?
I put them on the tree, but of course.
That's so funny. We haven't even talked about...
I don't take that cake for granted.
We
it's
haven't
so
even
good.
talked about White Lotus or Wonder Woman.
What
or
a dream that gig was.
Stuff.
What a great gig that was.
Well, I mean, does it ever concern you that it could all... Because it's not going to end tomorrow. Because you got to be nice in this business. You have to be nice. Nice is such an underrated word.
It is an underrated.
You got to be nice, and you're good, and you're funny. And you say you said about parenting. If there's one thing you could call yourself out on, as far as parenting is concerned, as a good thing, your superpower would be you're a fun mum.
Yes.
Because you bring what you can.
Yes,
don't you?
that's exactly
right. And you can bring the fun.
That's right.
Does it concern yourself tomorrow, today, next week?
I always think, for a long time it did, actually, because I think with every actor, every artist, oftentimes you can think, oh my gosh, this might just be my last job.
Yeah.
I think I'm finally in a place now that I feel like there is now been such a breadth of my career. And what I'm seeing is now... The kindness, the professionalism, the hard work paying off, because relationships are coming back around. So if there's any advice that I can say to people within any industry or any job that you're in, you're inevitably going to find one person that you can connect with, whether it's an actor or a writer or any kind of co-star. Always continue to cultivate and nurture that relationship
Without
because
networking,
we all
without being transactional.
without being, because there's just going to be somebody that you bond with inevitably, and because we always move forward on different jobs and different careers, you'll always stay in contact with that person, and inevitably that person's going to have a new opportunity, or you might be able to have a new opportunity that you can offer them. And so I am seeing all of those kinds of relationships
like
now.
master gardening.
It really nurturing again. It's the nurturing and the constant cultivation, and because now I'm seeing that now later in life happening, it gives me such confidence to go, no, you're here for as long as you want to be here.
They call it winding the flywheel. Just keep turning, never let it go. Just keep putting the turns on the flywheel.
That's
just
right.
And then you get the compound interest starts to pay off without releasing the flywheel. It's beautiful, isn't it?
There you go. It's beautiful.
Final question.
Yes.
Right. Thank you so much. I knew you were going to be great, didn't I? I came in today and they were all like, "What's with?" I said, "I've researched her. She's really great. So not only is she good at a job, she's brilliant to interview." Honestly, I couldn't wait to interview you.
Oh, thank you.
Is it true? Because I know it is, right? Rhetorical question. Is it true that you once went to Burning Man,
Yes.
pregnant,
Yes.
and went to a talk whilst pregnant at Burning Man about open relationships?
Yes. Yes. And it was job research, and it was so awkward. So I went to Burning Man with my son, who I was 7.5 months pregnant. Again, I was very safe. I had an exit plan in case I needed it. I called him my little burner in the oven. But at the time, I was getting ready post-pregnancy to do a show on open relationships. It was a drama. And so I was studying, and I was my husband was off dancing and doing his thing, looking at art projects, and I kept going to like these seminars on open relationships, and I didn't even realize like I was pregnant. Of course, I had this big belly, and I was rocking up, and there were all these like couples, I don't know, wondering maybe if I wanted to be a throuple, and I'm like, 7 months pregnant, but I was literally with my pad and paper like writing everything.
It's research, everyone.
It's research, everyone.
Give us the headlines. I've never been to Burning Man. Give us the headlines. I know what it is.
It's wonderful. It restores your faith in humanity. People think that it's all about drugs and partying and whatnot. And as I said, I went there pregnant. You can have any kind of experience you desire there. But you know what's lovely? It's like people are off their phones. There's no exchange of money. And people are looking at each other in the eye. And you're connecting with people, and you're connecting with art, and you're dancing. And there's such freedom there. It's in a really inspiring place. I've been multiple times, and I love it dearly. And I stay in a tent. I pitch a tent.
A titch.
A titch.
A tent.
So you can do it. You don't have to do it fancy.
A
You
titch
can
that's been
you can just
tent that's been pitched as a
pitch.
titch or a pen. You didn't need to talk about any of this stuff. You're such a generous interviewee. Let's hear it for the amazing Michelle
My
Monaghan.
pleasure. What
Family Plan 2, Apple TV.
Thank you so
out
much.
next week, in
You
fact.
just
Come on,
made
bring
my
it on.
week.
You are it. One more time, Michelle Monaghan. We got to go. We'll see you Tuesday. Have a great day. Why would you not have a great day? Why would you choose not to do that?
Yes.
Ta-ra! Or should we say, ta-da!